I should be a rapper because I got bars for days, honey. Whew. Production, I'm ready. Production, who? I'm the producer, guys. I'm the producer, director, editor, host, scriptwriter. Nje, yonke umuntu, like cameraman. Cameraman. On that note, hey girl, hey. Welcome back to Me Versus Me with your host, Nontabam Kise. Of course, to my returning listeners, thank you so much for coming back. It means the world to me that I can share my experiences with you. You're the real MVPs, and I hope you stick around. If you're a newbie passing by, welcome, and I hope you're here to stay too, because we'll be discussing all things mental health, self improvement, and finding strength through faith. Don't forget to download and share, and also follow the show and subscribe. Yes, so thank you so much. Welcome back to episode 2 of season 2. We've come a very long way. Thank you so much to everyone who downloads, who shares, who reposts, who listens, anything that you do to support the podcast. I genuinely appreciate it because you're the only reason why I keep going. And I remember when I first started, it was literally in the lounge at my house under the blankets. So I've come a very long way. The fact that I can be in front of the camera now and talk to you guys, I'm very excited that you get to be graced by my presence. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm very excited that I am growing and I'm doing different things. And episode 1 of season 2 really got like great feedback. So that's also really nice. And I also want to mention that I think I did mention it episode 1 of season 2 that I don't want the agenda of this show to change now that I'm in a different space and everything and be like everything about South Korea. No, honey, this is about like self improvement and trying to grow in your 20s, going through those challenges. But okay, we are abroad. So the people that I'll be speaking to, obviously, they're going to be going through the challenges that they are facing abroad and the challenges they face to get abroad and everything. So I have a few people in mind. I'm very excited. And yeah, so it's gonna be like the same style as season 1, end of season 1 when I was interviewing the people. But yeah, and today I just want to go with the flow and talk about giving yourself grace and yeah, going with the flow with life in general. And I also want to go with the flow with the episode. So, going with the flow, going with the flow. Yes. So I remember when I first arrived, I wanted a new phone. So I like to link a story with the lesson, you know that. So I remember when I got a new phone and I was having such a terrible day. It started raining and he put umbrella. Ugh, I cried in the rain. Imagine how dramatic. I bought an umbrella. But saying actually, it was just like a long day because when I first budgeted what I'm gonna do, how much I'm willing to spend, what I'm not going over, and everything. I okay, fine. And then mengifika bangabe but you need to go to your network provider, get a USIM, blah blah blah. And I'm just like distress. So and they were offering at such a nice price. So I ended up going to my English bundles are depleting so early in the episode. I ended up going to the network provider again. Mengfika corner and they are literally offering it for double the price. And when I get there, this is after I got rained on, I cried, I my battery died. Yes, I was going through the most that day. And then Mengfika, they're offering it for double the price. And you know what? I'm hungry. I had a bad day. I deserve this phone. And I get it. It's like Jay, just vibes, no financial, discipline. And then when I finally get it, gay, instead of being excited of wanting this phone, I finally have it. I cry. Like I just cried. And it's like the older people that usually advise me, they're like, oh my gosh, you are going to live a long life where you're going to be feeling sorry for the people around you because you need to put yourself first. You're the one who's working, you're the one who's doing this. If you don't give yourself, or if you don't buy yourself nice things, who's going to? If you don't give yourself that treatment, if you don't invest in yourself, who's going to want to invest in you? You get me? So I was just like, okay, I need to get over this. But the lesson that I learned is to be financially disciplined because this princess does not want to work. We all know that. Um, in the next 2 years or 5 years or whatever, and gas saying so I need to have financial discipline and budget and think ahead. You get me? But it's like, okay, fine. A bad financial decision here and there is important to be happy. Live above your means sometimes. So it's just important to buy yourself nice things, to be happy when you get yourself those things. Because I always talk about, oh, put yourself first, be selfish, give yourself grace. And it's so funny because the people around me will be like, oh, were you not saying, Guti, the art of being selfish on your podcast? Got to sukhalela ukuthi usithengele wena ifoni. Like, okay, don't use my words against me. So yeah, um, it's important to buy yourself nice things, do nice things for yourself. Because, like I said, if you don't do nice things for yourself, who's gonna do them for you? People are gonna see you, this one does not like, stand this into, deserve this right. You get me? So it's very important to do that for yourself. Kubuza le nto ethi, "Ungasithengeli i-chicken licken, bebekuthengela i-chicken licken uzothi thungisani." So like it's very important to put yourself first. Okokuqala, that's the first thing I want to talk about. And another thing that I want to talk about is another story, of course. So the other day on Thursday when I was going to the post office, I get handbag and I'm like kind of scared of public transport, not because it's unsafe or hard to use. I'm just a scaredy cat when it comes to that, and especially with the language barrier. If I'm lost, what am I gonna say? So I go to the post office and I use the app that you use to get the bus. So yeah, on the app I forgot to turn on the bell because the bell tells you when to get off, what to do, and everything. So I forgot to turn on the bell and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to use this manually. Like that sounds crazy. And then I was like, at some point I thought I was lost. Yeah. So I thought I was lost, and I thought about this saying that says, Guti, uh, if you are taking the wrong route on a bus, you better get off at the next station. Otherwise, the price you're going to pay to go back is going to be higher. So then in that moment, I'm like, yo, I need to get off and now. But okay, I ended up like looking on the map, used it manually, you know, and I ended up seeing where I was going, and I got there. But my point is that in terms of like friendships, relationships, jobs, anything that you do, whenever you stay longer when you know you shouldn't be there, the price you pay to go back is much higher, because you are literally grating your heart, making yourself go through things you know you wouldn't be going through if you actually listen to your instincts, if you actually left the situation you know you should have left long ago. So it's highly, highly important, because now once you go back, once you realize, okay, finally after 10 years I'm out of the situation, you have to pay for 10 years of trauma. Like that's a lot of money to pay for, you get. So like, as an overthinker, I saw the tweet. I was just thinking of that tweet in that moment where I'm like, yo, I need to get off this bus. Even like, really, I need to get off right now. So yeah, and that saying that a good dancer knows when to leave the stage, it just reminds me of when I was working La Payana Mhlanga and stuff, and I left the job, and other people were just like, oh, why would you just quit randomly on the spot? Imsebenzi are so hard to get these days. And I was at home for like a good 8 months. That's before I came here. But they did something, and it was just one red flag. Besides the transport situation, it was too far from home. They did one thing, and I'm like, yeah, Zin, I'm getting paid tomorrow. Let me leave them. I got paid at 7 p.m. while I was still at work because we finished work at 10. And as soon as my shift ended, I was like, thank you so much, but I quit. I wrote the resignation letter like that same time when I left. They could not believe it. Like, obviously, they replaced me after. Like, who cares? Village jobs don't care about you. Don't think that, oh my gosh, they're gonna cry and fall to their knees because you left, you know? But in that moment, I was like, Yasnini, I come first. If this one red flag is so red, imagine the other red flags that are coming. So, I was like, never again. So, it's important to know how to read the room. It's important to know when to leave. And even with like relationships and friendships and everything, it's very embarrassing when you see someone as forced like with friendship and my best friend, my best friend. Look, best friend or something. It's very embarrassing because it's like, girl, this girl does not see you as their best friend, but you think they're your best friend. So with most situations, you just like Sfagile wena. Yabon. And it's very embarrassing to look at. So yeah, but you grow and you realize, because I wasn't meant to do that. And I've been in situations like that, don't get me wrong. So it's important to read the room. And I feel like children should be taught how to read the room while they're still young. Because we grow up, if you're not taught to read the room, you grow up thinking, Guti, ah, you know, no, this is just who I am. They must accept me as I am. There's situations where you should be true to yourself, but there's also situations where you like, I take a step back. You take a step back now, because I remember I think I've mentioned it. Obviously, like me now, I was like, oh, I love my friends so much because they accept me for who I am. They know I'm goofy. They know I have this big personality. And someone was like, "Oh, maybe they're just tolerating you." And me now, I was like, "Oh, okay." And I continued staying with that person. And then, like 2 years later, I was like, "Oh, I see why that happened. I should have just, in that moment, a good dancer would have known to leave the stage because literally, you must listen to what people say. You must listen to the things that they say, actually, because they are telling on themselves. They are telling you how they feel. So, yeah, like honestly, and I was still young, I was still naive and gullible. So, very embarrassing to think of, very cringe, but it's the lessons that we learn. That's what we take from there. But yeah, and now me, I realized, Lucy, I'm such a flaker when it comes to friends. Like we'll make plans and then the day before I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to think about what to wear and all of that. I don't know, I flake on plans a lot. And I'm like, you know what, maybe that is my toxic trait. Not maybe, that is my toxic trait. That's where I can take responsibility. Because I was telling my other friend long ago, she was complaining about something about another friend, and she was saying how um that friend angazi wenzeni, and I was like, you know what, people are not good in all departments. Ungathola ukuthi they're good in this department but not that department, just as you are good in one part and in another part you lack. So it's important to categorize friendships. It's very important. And it's also important to give people grace and communicate, you know. Usho ukuthi, hey, I don't like ABCDFG, and then if they change it, they respect you. If they don't change it, and then it's like, I'm not gonna, you are still healing, you are still gonna get there, but I don't want my heart to be grated in the process, which means I'm getting the back end of the stick just because you're still healing. So people don't need to stay in your life just because you're still healing, you're still trying to be better. I know it sounds harsh, I know it does, but if umuntu nawe uyabona ukuthi ayingeke uyahlukumezeka in the process of you healing, in the process of you relapsing to your toxic traits, and they decide to leave, like, you know what? It truly it was meant to be. I truly believe things happen for a reason. Nothing just happens. Nothing is a coincidence. So some things hurt, but they genuinely happen for a reason. They were meant to happen like that, and they come back to you later in life if they were meant to be there. But we can't be hurting people because we're still, trying to be better and then expect them to stay. So yeah, like it's just, yeah, reading the room and just knowing when to stop, knowing when to step back, knowing when to try harder. It's just, it comes with also discernment and instincts. Oh, should I stay, should I leave, things like that. So yeah, so it's really important to know how to read the room. It's important to know ilimit yakho and ilimit yabantu. Because I even remember this one person, wayekuthanda ukuthi, like, she would just be like, how are you, da 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 da, and ask me something, and I'm like, hello, what happened to hello, how are you, my name is, like, greet me, honey. And I said to her, instead of being harsh with it, I was like, maybe we were raised differently, but Mina, where I'm from, you greet a person before you ask for something. Like, you can say, hello, I hope you're good. Mhlambe if you're in a hurry and you want to get to the point. But this, how are you? No, hello. It just sounds worse even in Zulu, yeah, because they're all swinging is Zulu. Because even the taxi drivers in South Africa, when they're like, when you're asking for directions, but manibati like sawubona after you finish your sentence. I get them because what do you mean you want help from me? Kota awungibingeleli, like make it make sense. Like were you raised in a barn? ha, like say hello to me first. Don't just So yeah. So and also just yeah, categorizing like I said, because some people will only remember you when they have problems. Bekumnandi, kuyajiva kwi-status kufusa abanye abantu. Kodwa mekuneyinkinga wena, you're the first person that they call. Know your worth. Know your worth. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me. Know your worth. So it really hurts, but it's also like it's nice to know where you stand with people. You get so yeah. So I just believe that every single situation that didn't work out for me worked out for me. You see, I'm going with the flow with this episode. I don't know where I'm at. 1 minute I'm in Japan, the next I'm here, the next I'm there. I'm just like gathering everything, all my thoughts that have occurred in my mind for the past 2 weeks. So I hope you can keep up. But yeah, like I just believe that everything that has worked hasn't worked out for me has worked out for me. Because you see sometimes when your parents are like, no, don't go out, with ABCD, with so and so, and then something happens in Mhlambe, and you're like, "Yongisizile ngalalela." Or when you go anyways and something happens and you're like, "I should have listened to my mom," So really, like, it's important to go with the flow and just listen to your instincts and pray about it and have that discernment, and yeah, just not feel like kuninte kulahlekele and you'll never get anything better. Do not have FOMO, have a ROMO, the relief of missing out. I have a lot of ROMO. If FOMO nje shy, honestly, like mina. Oh, if I was sleeping in my bed, you were at the party, it was fun. Great. I didn't spend money. I was in my bed, so I'm happy. Next thing I go out and then I regret doing that. So FOMO nje uphuma anginayo kakhulu guys, anginayo. So I need to start having FOMO so that I can actually go out with my friends and live like a 23-year-old and stop this thing that I'm doing. But yeah, so the best advice I have is to just do you, boo. Do what makes you happy. Your parents have lived their lives. Your friends have lived their lives. Strangers, I'm not gonna even mention them. Who cares what strangers say? They have a lot to say. They have a lot to say. Okay. So live your life, do what makes you happy, and to also give grace, set boundaries, and then take action, and then take it from there. And this is like into ngawazi tolerate. So give grace to yourself as well, and set those boundaries with yourself, and then take action. The same way with people, give them grace, communicate, ubone kwenza kanjani, set boundaries, ubone ukuthi akwenzeki kahle, I'll take action, uhambe. Yabo? So yeah, what makes you happy this week, honestly. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have an amazing week. I have 2 weeks until vacation, and I'm like, I'm not even hanging by the eyelash anymore because my eyelashes have all fallen off. Awasekho wona nje. Akho nento eyodwa engibamelele kuyona. So I'm just gonna try and survive these 2 weeks, and I'm probably gonna be more consistent when I'm on vacation. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great week. Yeah, stay grateful, stay beautiful.